Song in the City is a charity. This project is called Creative Madness. It is one way of working with survivors of all kinds. In the last 10 years, work with, for and by survivors has ameliorated our lives. Many more of us are songbirds. Many more of us Picassos rather than regarded as silly little children. Many more of us singers of love songs, in partnerships, in relationships, rather than in graves and in institutions.
Inject some happiness into my blood, so it can swim to my brain and fly.
I came to the project through the recommendation of my psychiatrist that I was seeing at the time, and he knew that I had an interest in music, and so asked me if I would be interested, and I said, yeah, okay, not really knowing kind of what it was about.
I've been a service user of Slam for 40 years next year, and it's in the last few years that activities like this have been started. I don't usually go for the day centre sort, where you're guided and controlled and everything, and this did sound interesting.
I heard about the project through being treated at Speedwell CMHT, and a friend of mine, Nick, told me about it. I contacted Rosanna, who invited me along.
As it was introduced to me, it was an opportunity for service users like me to put our words to music with aspiring composers.
I was very nervous. I was almost not going to go. And I must admit, when I came into the Guildhall, I really felt intimidated. I really did. I felt I was really out of my comfort zone, and but something kind of made me think, no, you know, go on, sort of do it, go and see what it's like.
There's been a series of workshops that's run over the past few months where we met the poets. We got given their kind of anthology books of all the poems that they've written, and then from there we picked basically which ones we thought kind of leapt out at us that we thought we'd be able to set really well.
Remind us which poems you're going to be working with. Yeah.
Nicholas, I'm doing the one that Anna picked for us. It's Kill the Fashion Please. Yeah. And then The Last Time I Saw You by Emma.
So you two need to have a conversation this evening.
Every 2 weeks there'd be another workshop where all the singers and the composers and the poets would get together, and we could sort of workshop and show where we were and what stage we were at, and then discuss whether or not, you know, things needed changing.
The composer that chose my poem was David Bentley, and we spoke about the poem and what I was kind of trying to express. And we spoke about musical style as well. I didn't have any knowledge of kind of classical composing, but I think I said the kind of music I liked, or often I felt I expressed myself better through that. And I think he did definitely take that on board.
I think the workshops where you know, classical composers, as it were, and classical singers meet with people who have written words about their own experiences of life, of mental illness, and then suddenly have to use all these creative tools that they've learnt in classical conservatoires to express those very complicated and very deep emotions, and actually they're in the same room as that person who's felt that emotion, and it's a difficult thing to do, and I think it's just amazing, you know, seeing people step out of their comfort zones.
It opened up a new world for me, and to be able to speak to musicians and composers, which of course I'd never done in my life.
If you have access to a good credit rating, a landline phone line, internet broadband, a bank card, a credit card, a timeshare beside a sunny beach in Greece, a criminal clean sheet. That's a great word. Could you explain to me a criminal clean sheet?
Through my mental illness, I've ended up in a pretty strange situation. I've ended up in a lot of cells for the night. You know? I've never spent a long time in a custodial sentence or whatever. It's always, generally because I've become very manic and I end up just going crazy, talking to everyone. I ending up without hardly any of my clothes on, and in strange places. So
that at the end of a criminal clean sheet, is that to do with all these people who have all these things have that kind of by right? Yeah. And that if they haven't had any kind of
if you have access, if you have access to all of these things in society. Including a criminal clean sheet and things. I mean, if I get looked up, that always comes up. Even though it's very minor things. It's all on my record.
Now I understand what you tried to say. I haven't suffered from mental illness myself, so trying to sing as a character who has suffered with mental illness as well. I mean, actually meeting people who have suffered and discovering, that they are just people who have had an illness happen to them. And then, the consequences of that and the suffering can be enormous.
I think people were very open about their experiences. People didn't hold back about what they'd been through. In my experience, severe depression was like you were dead already. And that was what my poem was about as well. It was about losing all those wonderful senses and colours and feelings, good feelings. So I think if people did not have an understanding of that, not for any bad reason, it's just maybe it's not been their experience, or they haven't known anyone who suffered, I think they would have a greater understanding, I think, from the way that everybody expressed their experiences.
When the melancholy comes, he comes at my chest.
I think it really did inspire me to write some poetry. I think also to write about my experiences, and sometimes it could be quite cathartic to do that.
My own kind of personal experience, it was very interesting to find one that was put so well into words, feelings that I've sort of had but couldn't sort of articulate as eloquently as that. Because I've always thought about writing music to do with kind of like depression and things. But I think having words as a stimulus makes it so much easier, and I have kind of ongoing issues with this kind of stuff. So I just thought, that kind of comes in this ebb and flow thing. I just sort of read it, I thought that's very apt, and it's just, it just kind of instantly I heard that piano thing. As soon as I read it, I thought that's exactly what I'm going to do, I know exactly what I'm going to do.
Wow,
so,
great.
So we thought if we place Holly this side, taking as much time, so she's very much she's away from the warmth of that. But we don't want you to feel it's too much, or but that's what we were sort of thinking dramatically. Yanamar's song is a different world from the warmth of the two songs either side of it, done by Gillian and Julie. So Holly will probably come to the other side of the stage and use the silence of not being with a piano as much as she wants, sectioned away from all the warmth of music making. Okay. Yeah, something like that.
Drowning in the depths of despair,
quite liked not exactly performing the 3 songs, but working on it together. Like, it was much more of a kind of team process. So, you know, so I sang the first song and then got kind of criticism back, but it was really friendly, really constructive, and it felt like we were kind of, like all of us in the room were developing like this new song together.
The last time I heard it, I got more of a sense of cabaret than I did tonight. That's all.
Yeah.
Do you want more of that kind of
thoughts? Yeah, I think because it's quite jokey, really.
The opening line, kill the fish. You don't have to sing it perfectly. You can almost say half sung, half spoken. Just try the other thing, because because that will be the first song in the program. You really actually wake everyone up and say, whoa.
It's just been a way of giving me so many more ideas about you know, different angles of how to perform the song than I would have just had from my kind of one brain. You know, we've had about kind of 6, 7 different pieces of input.
Kill the fashion police. Kill the fashion police. I've had them in my sights for quite a few decades now.
Wait, you know, play a bit before I've had them in my sights. Just play us that bit. It almost sounds to me like we're going into some kind of classical piece. Is that, does he say anything there about how to do it? Does he say?
Poco più mosso.
Okay. Could it be more smug? I don't know. Could it be? I don't know. Just try it. Just try it.
More kind of secretive, maybe. You know, Gavin, who was playing, had ideas from a more musical perspective, and so the two of them kind of worked together.
Food for thought.
The second time you did it, I thought was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It can change halfway through. I've had them in my sight. Oh, I've forgotten it for a brilliant decade.
I just liked the second time you did it. It was a bit more of a smoky voice, a bit more sort of cabaret-ish.
It's been interesting to see how the writers have gained confidence in suggesting to, say, performers. You know, tonight we had Nicholas McClintock suggesting to one of the singers, actually try that in a more cabaret style. Whereas I think before it was sort of, oh, that's their thing. That's classical music. I don't know anything about it. Therefore, I don't tread on their toes. But now it's sort of actually, we can own this all together.
It broke my prejudices, really, because about probably classical musicians, composers, singers, I thought they would really be quite a snobbish, sort of superior lot, really. And I actually found that to be totally untrue. And it was really lovely to have my preconceptions completely overturned, because everyone was incredibly friendly and really accepting and lovely.
If I can ease. 5 years ago, I met Gavin. He was on my course, and we knew immediately it was going to be a live one, a creative person. He was very, very good. The course was actually called Creative Voices, and it was a perfect place for him. When the music gets ready to be actually performed by the young singers, that's when I get asked to come in and criticise and make what hopes constructive suggestions. Don't go on to the diphthong too soon. Yeah. It's a long note.
I've never really worked with Sarah before, but it was brilliant. She's so much about the text, and she helps to bring everything off the page, and really kind of get you living it rather than just thinking about the technique of singing. And that worked really well actually, in tandem with the rehearsal that we had last week with the people who wrote the poems.
Yeah. The last time I saw you, you were beating it. Was the last. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's that one way of doing it. The last time I saw you, you were waiting for a movie to begin. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. Auden's "Tell Me the Truth About Love." The marriage of words and music is the most important thing in song literature, of course, naturally. And so it was really absolutely fascinating to be able to work on
words that were created by people who are not, quote, poets, unquote, because of course they are poets.
I am who I am, alone no more, because you are my friend now. Love us till we grow old, Nancy, Nancy.
That's lovely. Thank you, Emma.
Was it too much personal stuff?
Perfect. No, it's absolutely, it's lovely. And we've had lots of music, and now we have it's wonderful with space, yeah. And it relates so well to the song as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Katie, I just wondered if in this you use the introduction, whether it's those that makes you get up looking, da 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 dee dee. But I think if there's a moment that the audience registers that you've seen each other.
Yes.
I've come to sing your song.
So we don't eyeball each other?
No, but there might be a moment where you just, you might smile.
Okay.
Do you want to just try the end, the last line again?
Love you till we grow old, Nancy. It's lovely, very nice.
Was that the first when you loved me in the beginning? I love you in the ending.
I think in the future, I will think a lot more about the actual text. It was great having like 2 hours to basically break down like the words from people who haven't trained in opera and people that haven't got experience so much of that world.
Vahan put my work to music very well. The last time I saw you, I was very happy with it, and Katie sang it brilliantly tonight. Congratulations to them, really well done.
It was a really lovely experience to go through. I felt that we did bond in a way, not just the writers together or people who had those experiences, but I felt there was a general bond between us all.
I was absolutely knocked out by all the songs, really. And I think everyone I've spoken to is really, really pleased with the outcome.